What's up, everyone? This is the Raw Truth coming back with part 2. And in this part 2, remember when I said to you about Kamala Harris, about her, let me read it one more time. She refused to take a position on Proposition 47. And it says a voter-approved measure that reduces some low-level felonies to misdemeanors. So let's look at Proposition 47 for an example. This is California Proposition 47, reduce penalties for some criminals initiative in 2014. And here it says California Proposition 47, the reduced penalties for some criminals initiative was on November 4th, 2014. And what is some of the measures? Now I'm not gonna read all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a link in the description box. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box and let everybody read what Proposition 47 really is. But some of the parts here stood out for me to me. What does the measure do? What does the Proposition 47 measure do? And what crimes are affected? Okay, let's start with what did the measures do? It classifies non-serious, non-violent crimes as misdemeanors instead of felonies unless the defendant has prior convictions for murder, rape, or certain sex offense or recent gun crimes. So what it does is, say for instance you shoplift something or steal something that's worth even a greater value. You know how a lot of times those things will make sometimes that will give you a felony for that. Now you didn't go out there and rape somebody, you didn't go out there and take a gun or take a weapon and beat somebody up so bad and shit like that. It's talking about something non-violent. And some of the non-violent crimes is being redeemed as being deemed as a felony. What it will do under Proposition 47 is it will take that felony and make it a misdemeanor. Why? Because felonies follow you for the rest of your life. As soon as you get a felony, it's the same thing as getting a fucking life sentence. That's why I applaud some organizations out there who, if you have a felony, they will try to help you get jobs with people who deal with people who have felonies, because once you have a felony, it's a life sentence. Because what do they ask you when you go get a job? Do you have any felonies? Why? Because since you said yes, we don't want you, but America claims to be a Christian nation. See what I'm saying? We don't want you because you have the felonies. And there's been so many cases where folks know that about a month or two in to them working, that's when they find out that you really have a felony. Now, some jobs, don't get me wrong, they'll just do a fucking background check on you and exclude you out quickly. But some jobs don't. It may take 1 or 2 months. And some people know that. So they'll go work, get themselves a little change until it's time for them to get fired for having a felony. So whenever somebody has a felony, their life pretty much is over unless those groups or organizations out there that help people who have felonies get a job to take care of themselves. And a lot of them jobs is low pay anyway. You know what I'm saying? There's some people looking like, damn, you know, I did my time. Why am I doing time out here? So Proposition 47 is something set up to take that felony, turn it into a misdemeanor. That way you can redeem yourself. How the hell are we going to sit up there and say, well, these fools, they just need to redeem themselves, you know, and show that they are good for society if the society itself keeps staying them with the felony that they have? Sometimes we make shit worse instead of being helpful. Then it says, permitted resentencing for those currently serving a prison sentence for any of the offenses that the initiative reduces to misdemeanor under Proposition 47. 10,000 inmates were eligible for resentencing, according to Lenore Anderson of California for Safety and Justice. And you have to understand, too, what this is saying is that now they went through all the files and shit like that, and they see that there's 10,000 people who qualify for Proposition 47. 10,000 people who have felonies. They have felonies. And they are qualified now. In order to get that felony off of their fucking record, they need a court hearing to do it. They have to stand before a judge, and it's the judge who is authorized to take that felony off and give them a misdemeanor. This is the kind of shit Kamala Harris is against. Now, ask yourself, black folks. Nah, let me not ruin the surprise. Let me get going. And it says, point 3, require a review of criminal history as risk assessment of any individuals before resentencing to ensure that they do not pose a risk to the public as compared to the previous fiscal year. Due to the initiative information, estimate range from 150 million to 250 million per year. And you have to understand too, what one things that we always say, well, it's costing all this money to house one. Well, if one is reformed, because don't get me wrong, don't get it wrong, folks. There's folks who come out of prison who are reformed. They realize they fucked up, and some of them start gang initiative programs where they're trying to get other kids off of gangs, or stopping kids from being in gangs, or stopping people from doing the shit that they did to get into the prison system and shit. There's a lot of motherfuckers who are doing that. Not everyone that comes out of prison is not reformed. That's a fucking lie. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is talking about. Seeing if they're good to the society, and if they're good for the society and they're reformed, then why not give them another chance? I mean, it amazes me every time we fuck up. We want another chance, but we don't want them to have another chance too. You know who else don't want them to have another fucking chance? Your Kamala Harris don't want them to have another motherfucking chance. Point 4. Create a safe neighborhood and school funds. The fund was set up to receive appropriations based on savings. Well, what this is basically saying is, you have to understand too, is that a lot of times when folks come out of prison with the criminal record and shit, as soon as somebody runs their name, a policeman runs their name through the system, oh, he has a criminal record, automatically he's a suspect, he's a suspect. But before somebody get into prison in the first place, they have to become criminals to get in. Your neighbor down the street may be a pedophile. You don't even know it because he hasn't got caught yet. Point 4, distribute funds from the Safe Neighborhoods and Schools funds as follows: 25% of the Department of Education, 10% of the Victim Comprehension and Government Claims Board, 65% of the Board of State and Community Correction. This is all going to creating funds to educate offenders who may have felonies to be transformed to a misdemeanor, and then they're using money to help educate them so they can get jobs. They can get good jobs. What's wrong with that? I'd rather money go towards that than having somebody spending 15, 20 years spending all that money on them while they're getting locked up and stuff, and some of them want to come out and make a change. It's what Kamala Harris is against. Then it says, which crimes are affected? Now understand, remember I told you, it tells you that's nonviolent crime. What crimes does it addresses? It says, shoplifting, where the value of the property stolen does not exceed $950. Because if it exceeds more than $950, then they classify that as a felony. Grand theft, where the value of the stolen property does not exceed $950. Remember, over $950 is what? A felony. Receiving stolen property, the same value does not exceed $950. Fraud, where the value of a fraudulent check, draft, or other does not exceed $950. Writing a bad check, where the value of the check does not exceed $950. Person use of most illegal drugs. That's your like crack and cocaine and shit. You know, those are your what they call the high-end drugs. And you know what's funny about all this shit that I've read? Who do you think it's really targeting? Why do you think Kamala Harris was against this in the first fucking place? Because it imprisoned the vast majority of us black folks. Uh-oh. That's the surprise I said I was going to withhold. That's the surprise. She didn't want this shit. She didn't speak up for Proposition 47 because it affects black folks. We all know, and the reason why I know that it's talking about us black folks, mainly us black men, the reason why I know is because when a white person and a black person gets stopped for the same fucking crime, for some reason, black men, what do we get? Felonies. White men, what do you get? Y'all don't get felonies. Y'all get misdemeanors. Y'all get a slap on the wrist. Y'all don't serve the same time we black men serve. So this is why I know the reason why she didn't speak up for it and against it, because it hurts us. Don't give the black man a second chance. Don't give them no, I'm not doing that. No, because these black men, we want them caged. And when I'm talking about black men, you Hispanic people too, who call yourself brown, remember y'all brown? Talk about you too. Talk about you too. Stop and frisk is more happening on black and Hispanics than white people. If I had an ounce of crack, if I had like 10 ounces of crack, that's a felony. 10 ounces of crack to a white man, that's a smack on the wrist. Oh, he has problems. Oh, he just don't know. He's just a good kid. Come on, give him a break. And he gets a break. But yet, if it would be my black ass, now I'll lock that motherfucker up. Throw away the key. Oh, would you steal a car? What's the book value? $4,000? Oh, grand larceny. Get him. Get him. Get him. It's a felony. But when I come back for part 3, I'm really going to tell you why some of these white folks are really making this article. I'm going to tell you why. Because I had to do a little bit more research, because I wanted to do this a while ago, but I kept trying my best to try to find this person's name and shit, and I found him, and you know, I'm gonna have y'all research that and look this one person's name up, and in part 3 I'm going to give you this person's name, and I'm gonna tell you that the shit that's happening with Kamala Harris, you know, you have to understand that this bitch, she's not for us at all. I mean, look at everything. I mean, this is so awesome. Just imagine a whole bunch of my black and Hispanics, brothers and sisters, mainly brothers, because, no, I would just say brothers and sisters. And when I'm talking about sisters, sisters who going through the same thing as his brothers, I will say that. But our black and brown brothers and sisters, blacks and Hispanics, brothers and sisters, this is good. I love this program. It helps get second chances, and it helps you prove that you can be an asset to the community instead of a liability to the community. And this is the kind of shit that Kamala Harris didn't support. She didn't speak out for it because she knew in her fucking satanic, soulless fucking heart that it's going to affect us. See, instead of researching motherfuckers, we just want to brag upon them. Look at this. I'm going to come back with part 3. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description box to this article of the Proposition 47. So I'll be back with part 3.